Hey warriors, I'm Melody and I'm here to help you guys find the light in your autoimmune disease through nutrition, lifestyle, and your mindset habits. So today I really wanted to start talking to you guys about how to go out socially and be able to eat, because I feel like, especially at the beginning of my wellness journey, I realized how much socializing had to do with going to a restaurant or going over to a friend's house to eat. And I was like, okay, now what do I do? Do I just sit there awkwardly? And the answer is no. That's definitely not what you do. You're going to be able to eat, but it may just look a bit different, and that's completely okay. So today I'm going to help you guys figure out how to eat out socially when you're going over to someone's house, and then how to eat out socially when you're going to a restaurant. So when you go over to someone's house, this one actually has a few different answers that I have learned throughout these past 8 years. The first one is to ask them, like, can I bring over a meal, and just explain to them why you need to bring your own meal, and that it would just be an easier process for them as well. And then if they insist on cooking for you, for me, that's a bit scary one, but if they keep on insisting and just saying like, I want to make sure like you can eat this, then that's 100% okay. Just explain to them like what your diet is, what you like to stay away from, and just explain to them as well that if you do get a bit of gluten or dairy or any food intolerance you have, you honestly aren't going to feel good for the next week. And usually they will 100% understand, and that's how I like to get away with it, is just really explaining how serious this is, because it really is that serious. Don't feel bad about it. But if they're not going to cook for you, which I've only had that a few times throughout my life, which I'm very grateful for, but it's completely okay if they can't, because I know this diet is so tough. The other thing I like to do is just bring my own food, so I am part of the party. And even if that's just a meal for myself and then a dessert even, so I can eat with a dessert portion and I don't feel sad because they're eating all these foods, and I know it's okay for their body, but honestly it's not okay for our bodies. Don't give in, especially don't give in to that one bite. If someone says, well, it's just one bite, it's gonna be okay. You know your body, you know the next day you're gonna feel it, and you're probably gonna feel it for the next few days. And I'm not saying this to guilt you, I'm saying this to remind you that you want to feel your best self. But if you do give into that one bite, just know that you can start over, and this is not just an end all be all type of thing. Another thing I like to do, if I do get tainted with something, and at the beginning of my wellness journey when I took that one bite, because we're all human, we all have those moments of weakness, is I like to take activated charcoal so it bind to toxins and release like that gluten out of my system faster. So those are a few of my tips when I go out to eat at a friend's or family's house. Another thing that you can do, let's say it is a holiday, let's say you have a delivery service just deliver you a Thanksgiving meal, and that's a bit more pricey, and if that's not in your budget, then go ahead and cook for yourself again. But yes, it's going to be a bit different, but it's completely okay. I would rather you guys feel your optimal self and go through the hassle of cooking yourself a meal than to have you guys not feel good for a longer period of time. And that is really my mindset going into this. Of course, it's not the funnest thing, but is the best thing for us. The next thing I want to talk about is eating out at restaurants. And eating out at restaurants is a bit trickier, but you have to remember that when you go out to a restaurant, their main goal is not to get their customers sick. So what I like to do when I go out to a restaurant is I like to look at the menu, and then I like to see like, okay, I can have this, I can have this, I can have this. I want this, but I can't have certain ingredients on this list. So I talk to the waiter to see if they can take off those ingredients. And then I like to add it with, I have a gluten and dairy allergy, for example. And a lot of the times they'll just check with the chef to make sure there's no cross-contamination, and if this is even possible to do for that meal. And if it's not, then just pick another thing on the menu and then just pick and choose what goes on it again. Of course, sometimes it's a process, but a lot of the times this works. And a lot of the time when I don't say I have a gluten and dairy allergy, it's almost for sure that I get tainted with something. But that's a little trick that I like to tell everyone when first starting a wellness journey. What I also like to do is that a lot of foods don't have a lot of nutrients, but just to make sure I get those nutrients in a day, so I don't have that crash in energy levels, to make sure that I am having all the nutrients my body needs. And what I highly recommend for you guys too is to just bring a little bag of greens on the side so you can just place it on top of your meal. It's not really gonna change the taste. No one's really gonna care. It's just so you get more nutrients in your day. And I just really hope these several tips that I had for you really encourages you that this is 100% possible. It may look a little different. It may cause a little bit more time on your hand, but just know your wellness is worth the investment, even if that investment is just your time. And I know that all of you guys can definitely do it. And I'm right here with you guys, warriors. So if you guys have any questions on how to make this easier for you, then just drop a comment down below or a question down below, and I'd be more than happy to answer it for you, because I'm here with you. I stand with you. I am just like you. I am still on my multiple sclerosis journey. I'm still on this wellness journey. I am human too, and this is not 100% easy for me. I just have some tips and hacks that I've learned throughout the years. And I'll talk to you guys next week, warriors.